Okay, great. So welcome to gathering number 7. Happy Beltane blessings to everyone. Glad to have Tina and Carmen and Gwendolyn and Shirley on our call. They're going to be some of our featured beautiful light player guests who are going to be offering some of their incredible wisdom. We may have some others jumping on as well. Oh, thank you, Joni. And yes, I've got the northern lights behind me. For some reason, I needed green. So I decided today we're going to go with green. Green Tara has been big in my energy field lately. And so I am really wanting to honor green for some reason. And of course, it's May 1st, and this is beautiful spring, and it's very green right now. And I even have a green candle. So, well, you can see that in the green screen. So I have my candle, so hopefully those that were able to, you can turn on your candles for today to represent fire. And I'm going to have also, Gwendolyn knows a lot about this particular holiday, so if she would like to share some more about Beltane, we'll do some real brief introductions and then go into our gifts. But I thought we would just start with what is Beltane. And Gwendolyn, would you like to share more?
Yes. Just acknowledging what you spoke to, that we went from the equinox into Beltane. It's a particular kind of cycle. And in the Druid, the Celtic calendar, spring is considered starting at what they call Imbolc, which is usually around February 1st. It's when we celebrate Bridget's Day. It's the same energy. And that's kind of when like the first ewes, like the milk shows up. That's actually what Imbolc means. And then so there's basically spring, and that cycle is considered starting then. And the spring equinox is the peak, right? It's like the masculine, feminine balance, Mother Nature. It's the peak. And then Beltane is actually kind of the completion of the spring, right? And then we're really in summer, where there starts being more harvesting, right? More, and it's also the symbology. It's always about the fire, and it's usually about fertility, right? Like the masculine and the feminine coming together, you know, full on to create life, right? And because that's like this energy, like how do those energies come together and create life? And they're not always soft, and it's not always like soft and sweet. Like Beltane is beautiful. It's, you know, there's the flowers and there's the blooming, but there's also the fiery aspect of it. So I feel like there's something about really feeling the fires rising, because even though we're in a world where there's a lot of requests to have space from each other, right? Is have space with each other. It's like there's also this energy of like the fires are rising. The equinox is kind of like the balance point, but this is actually where the light, there's more light every day after the equinox than there is dark. Like that's kind of in the upper hemisphere, and then they're in the other pattern, they're in the winter pattern if they're south of us in the southern hemisphere. So there's something, so they're having basically Halloween energy on the day that we have Beltane energy, right? And Halloween is considered the beginning of winter in that cycle. And then the winter solstice is the peak. So they call these cross quarter days. And they're always in a fixed sign astrologically, like an intensity sign, like this is Taurus. So it's Beltane. And the planet Uranus is in Taurus, making sure that everything about our bodies and the earth is up for conversation and fertility. So there's just like this energy. And then I will also mention that Uranus energy is being joined by Mercury yesterday and today. So the planet of communication and the planet of shaking things up, waking things up, like the electrical current is all Uranus energy. And so that's in the communication. So it's really amping up communication, like in anything that needs to be looked at in communication. Like it's not all soft and sweet. It's like there's things that need to be spoken. And so that's here in conjunction with Beltane energy, which is, it's like, how do we come together as the masculine and feminine with each other inside of ourselves? How does our masculine actually move in the world? How does our feminine move in the world? How do we integrate that inside of ourselves? And then how do we relate with each other, right? There's a lot of voices. And it's like, this is like, you know, and normally we gather together and we dance and we do a lot more connection, and we let that deeper, the physical body really be here, the Taurus energy. And it's like that fertile energy is here, and it needs some places to be and breathe inside of a world where we're not we're being told we can't get together so close, right? We can't, you know, do some of the things we do, although we can all dance on the earth, which I highly recommend doing today if you can get somewhere on the earth and get your feet in it. But that this energy of the fire and lighting the fire, even I went and got the matches when she was talking because I had my candle, but I forgot. It's like really allowing our fire to be here, right? Our creative fire to be here. And that can actually be scary. It cannot always be soft and sweet. Fire, you don't sit there and go, oh, I want to pet fire. You know, it's not very pettable. But it's the juice, right? It's like this juice that's here. And I feel like we need to tune into that juice a lot right now because we've been in kind of a repressing energy. And when you have repressing energy and a lot of fire coming, it's even messier. And it's messy anyway right now, which is okay. It's okay that it's messy, but it's just like, you know what, repressed fire is what fuels our cars and rocket ships and stuff. So, you know, we want to be aware of what happens when we repress, when we try and shut fire down. Like when we give it a place and a container, then it can actually work. But if it doesn't have a space, it kind of actually runs all over the place. So, and I keep getting again and again that thing of how can the masculine and the feminine meet now? Like now, in ourselves, with each other, the parts of us that hold that, and with each other in the world on this collective level, because there's a lot of voices saying, well, I've been repressed, so now I'm rebelling, which is very natural when you repress people for a while. The Mars masculine aspect of ourselves is going to say, I'm going to move. I'm not going to be repressed. So we have to find a way to have a conversation that's just not shut down, shut down, shut down, shut down, because it won't work. It has to be like, where can this energy serve? Because the masculine's kind of coming more online. There's more light. There's more of that aspect. And then the feminine is here too in all her beauty, right? And it's like, and she has fire too. I mean, the earth is made of fire, so the feminine has fire. So it's not so exact, but like really allowing fire and earth is the energy of Beltane, right? Like fire and earth. And then the air and the water is always here, but it's fire and earth and just whatever that means. So those are some of the pieces of this time. Yeah.
Wow.
It feels exciting. It's like exciting right now.
Yes, it does feel very exciting. And I wanted to also invite any of the other practitioners, if there's anything else about Beltane or this time that you want to share any information about. So I don't know if Carmen or Tina or Shirley have other things about this particular fire festival or just the element of fire or something coming up around May 1st that you want to share. I want y'all to be open to share anything first before we dive into our deeper stuff. Anything? Nope. Okay. So what I think would be fun today, so if you do have your candle, you can light your candle so that we can invite fire in for this beautiful ceremony on this Maypole day. And I'm just going to just bring us into just a grounded space for right now, so we can just kind of get here, kind of gather around the fire for this beautiful day, and just allow ourselves to really just step in and allow this element that we call fire to just be with us throughout this gathering of light. So letting everybody just get here and be here, just taking some slow, deep breaths, just really allowing yourself to just be here now for this moment. So I just want all of you to imagine that we are out in nature. It is the festival of fire and fertility, and we're all dressed in these flowy, if you're female, you're dressed in this flowy dress, and maybe you have a ring of flowers around you. I was going to try to get that done before today, but that didn't happen. So anyway, imagine a ring of flowers on your head. It's a beautiful, amazing spring day. The sun is out, and there's lots of flurry of activity. You hear music, people are dancing, you hear laughter, and there's a main beautiful fire in the center of the community. So I want you to imagine that we're all going And we're walking towards that beautiful fire. And that we're all standing around it, smiling, laughing, maybe holding hands, hearing the music. I just want us all to come and gather around the fire. We smell the flowers, we see the colors. Everything is filled with so much life right now. So I want you just to feel that going through your whole body. The joy, the happiness, the birthing. And knowing that, you know, we're getting through spring and now summer's about to burst into its full beautifulness. And so we're just honoring what has been. So let's honor April and March. Let's honor what has been. And let's bow to it. And we're going to throw it in the fire. It's done what it needed to do. Now we're going to move into this new phase. And we're just honoring. We're letting this fire do its thing to burn up any of the old, any of the past, whatever's gone on since the beginning of this year, that it's time for us to really just throw it into fire and let it go. So if there are some things you've been kind of holding on to that you know you really need to just throw it in the fire, bless it with fire, just be willing right now to do that. Just maybe it's something in your life, some struggle, some old story, some pattern, some addiction pattern that you're like, yeah, we're ready to let that one go. I just want you to just lovingly honor it and just throw it in the fire as a blessing, as a ritual of releasing it and letting the fire do its beautiful transformation and transmutation. Fire transmutes things. So let whatever that is that you know you need to let go of, let it just be transmuted into something new. Fire is really good for that. It's a powerful alchemical element. So just throw whatever that is in the fire. And then just really feel the lightness. And I want you to imagine that everybody throws something in the fire, whatever that is that you're ready to be done with. The struggle, the old story, whatever it might be. And then everyone's holding hands and they're going to begin a beautiful ring around the fire. So imagine everyone singing and dancing in a ring around this beautiful fire, just celebrating what has been as we now invite in and we meet the new. So we're meeting the new feminine in ourselves, we're meeting the new masculine in ourselves, we're meeting the new out there in the world because everybody has changed given what's happened. So when you go out there and you start meeting your friends, your family, you're going to notice changes in people. People have changed. The men and the women in your life. So we're going to meet the new, meet our new selves, ourselves, the inner masculine, feminine, saying hello to each other and getting to know each other. And then be willing to have an open heart to meet the new outside of ourselves. The new men and women in our life. They may still have the same name, but there's something different about them. And it's about honoring the new, allowing whoever all they are in your life, let them show up the new way without you needing them to show up the old way anymore. And there's a whole process around that some of you may need to work through around really letting people show up in a new way and really meeting that and meeting it with compassion, with love, with understanding, with patience, with lots of patience as this new shows up. And we have to get to know the new in other people, the new in ourselves, the new ways that we behave and interact in the world. A lot has changed. But we are still celebrating. We're around a fire, we're dancing, we're smiling. We've let go, we've let the fire transmute what needs to transmute. And we're willing and ready to meet the new. We're excited about the new. The new is fresh and beautiful, just like the spring into the summer. It's that excitement as we move in to this new phase. So just really let that be here. Let your heart just be filled up. And if you feel you need to cleanse from the old, be willing to even step into that ritual fire yourself and just let that fire burn up everything in and around you that really isn't you anymore. Be willing to be baptized by fire, so to speak, but in a good way. Just this beautiful ritual of stepping into the fire and just letting whatever needs to be burned away. But know that this is a beautiful ritual, spiritual fire. It doesn't burn you. It doesn't hurt. It just releases, dissolves, transmutes. And you're just going to allow that. So if you do feel you need to step into the fire to burn off even more, be willing to do that. And just allow that. And we're just going to honor the element of fire in our lives and where we may need more fire. So I would just like everybody to just place your hands below the belly button. So for a woman, it's your womb space. For the man, the lower dantian. And just place your hands below your belly button right now. And imagine a fire burning in your belly. This beautiful furnace. It energizes you. It regenerates. It gives you the energy that you need. It fires up old projects. It fires up your creativity. It fires up your feminine and masculine, or maybe your feminine's been asleep. It needs to be fired up, or your masculine side needs to be fired up. Just allow that fire in the belly to do its amazing, miraculous work. Just let it be there. Imagine it. It's fueling you. It's not here to burn up your energy. It's not here to do any of that. It's just here to actually create an alchemy of more energy for you. Really put some passion, some deeper fiery passion into your soul calling or your soul mission, or awakens in you that particular purpose, and it has more fire now. So we're inviting this beautiful element of fire into the parts of our lives that have been maybe kind of cold. So maybe there's been some part of your life that's needed fire, that's needed more passion. So I want you to, with an intention and consciousness, invite in this beautiful element of fire into those parts of your life that have been kind of cold, shut down. Just imagine, what part of your life needs more fire? Do you need more fire in relationship? Do you need more fire in your work, career, your purpose? Do you need more fire when it comes to some project or your art or your creative endeavors? Just kind of ask yourself, where do I need more fire in my life? And you're just going to lovingly invite that in. Just going to invite it in. I invite more fire into, and just fill in the blank. And allow that. And then just breathing that in. I want you to now take all of that and root it into the earth. So you're rooting all of this into the earth. So you can imagine yourself grounding, dropping deeper in, seeing those roots growing into the earth. Now that we've activated all this fire, now we want to ground it into the body. So really allow yourself to root in. So you can maybe imagine yourself sitting down on the ground around the fire, rooting your root chakra into the earth. And just breathing in, feeling the body settle in. You know, fire can be very exciting and fill you with lots of energy and passion, and you can be sitting around a calm campfire, just feeling all of your system calm down as you just look at the fire. Just feel yourself now dropping into the body, feeling that calmness, the warmth, allowing yourself to just let all that we've just activated, let it drop into the body, all the way down, rooting into the earth, feeling those roots grow into the earth to anchor you in, so that you're here now. You have that beautiful fire in you, but it's not out of control. It's grounded. It's a grounded fire. It's a grounded passion that can manifest in the world. So we're just letting that settle in and feeling yourself being here now. So you can say to yourself, I am here now. I am here now by love and by choice. I am here now by love and by choice. And I'm fired up about life. But really keep that groundedness. Let it be in the body. You don't want to be so out of the body that the fire just burns you up and you disappear. You really want to bring it in, bring it down in the body. Feel it in your womb space. Feel it below the belly button. It's a beautiful, amazing, contained fire. There's moments for the wild fire, and then there's moments for the more embodied fire. So we're just embodying it right now. It doesn't mean that you can't have moments where you're just a wild fire dancer. You can actually do that too. But then we have to bring it into the body to anchor it in. So just breathing that in, allowing that beautiful fire to just be here, be with you. Let that fire begin transmuting, alchemizing whatever in your life was cold and dead and just needed to be burned up in this fire ritual so that now something new can come of it. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes and just come back here. Stay in that grounded place of love, connected to earth, in the body. At the same time that you're feeling that fire in you, that excitement, that fire for life. And let it do its beautiful alchemy in you during our gathering today. So just taking a deep breath and coming back in. And then I'm just going to see who would like to follow after me. So whoever of our light players feels they're ready to follow, just open your mic.
Thank you, Linda. That was beautiful. Continuing to let that fire move within your body. We're going to do a yoga that is a fiery yoga. It's called Kundalini Yoga. And so wherever you're seated, if you could sit up straight in your chair, bring your index and thumb together, resting on your knees. And you're going to focus at the point just above the eyebrows with your eyes closed. And we're going to do a meditation to bring us more into that neutral place within us with that fire. So we're going to affirm our identity and how we identify ourselves, but also letting them go within this fire that we're in. So what it is we say, I am this, I am not this. You can begin with your name. So we're all muted, so you can say your name aloud. You say, I am Tina Karagulian. I am not Tina Karagulian. And so fill in with your own name. And proceed by saying any kind of role that you've played. Like, I am a mother. I am not a mother. I am a daughter. I'm not a daughter. So just keep going with any roles that you've ever played. Spouse, any job that you have right now or have had that's still lingering in your field, that you need to say that you are that, but then you are not that. So it begins to loosen those things we are attached to, but honoring that we have played those roles too, where nothing is being left out, but we're giving it a little more room to be in this sacred fire. See how many layers of the onion you can peel off. And feel free to not only stick with the nouns like I am this, I am that, but also adjectives, any qualities, whatever comes to you. Ones that maybe are, and I'll give you some examples, and even some like, I'm angry, I'm not angry. I am sad, I am not sad. I'm anxious, I'm not anxious. I am afraid, I am not afraid. I am powerful, I'm not powerful. And then any of the maybe archetypes and things that, that come to you. So just really let yourself go. I'm going to say a few more, but I want you to keep speaking your own truths out loud. Don't let it stop. Just let it keep going. Focus at the brow point. Be very active. As one goes, let another one come in quickly. So, I'm a victim. I am not a victim. I'm a perpetrator. I'm not a perpetrator. I am wisdom. I am not wisdom. I am small. I am not small. I am shadow. I am not shadow. So just keep going. Just keep speaking. Let it all burn. In the trueness of everything that you have been. Honoring it as you say it, and letting go of the fullness and the absence of it. I am infinity. I am not infinity. You can do the elements. I am earth. I am not earth. I am fire. I am not fire. I am air. I am not air. I am water. I am not water. I am ether. I am not ether. Whatever it is that you haven't spoken to anyone, things that are so deep inside of you that need to be spoken. I am my inner child. I am not my inner child. And you can string things together. I'm afraid of my passion. I'm not afraid of my passion. I am my purpose, and I am not my purpose. So just really play with it. Let it speak truths for you, whatever it is, whatever wants to be spoken. And just keep breathing. Feel your root chakra activate as you speak. Feel all your chakras moving. Blessing all the roles that you've played, all the experiences you've had up until this point, the limitations, the grandness, all of it. Anything that wants to come up, give it room, give it voice. Let it speak. I am constriction, I am not constriction. I am invisible, I am not invisible. I am light, I am not light. All the cycles of things and the circular cycle of things. And when you have an opportunity and it feels complete, bring your hands onto your heart, right hand over left. And just take a moment here. And feel, we're going to do another Kundalini Yoga meditation. We're going to feel this vastness that's in us. Being alert with our full heart, blessing all, blessing ourselves, blessing friends and enemies, blessing all that is known to you, all that is unknown. And we'll do this with a chant. Hummy hum, brum hum. H-U-M-E-E, H-U-M, brum, B-R-A-H-M, H-U-M. And we'll just chant it for a little bit. And this is the chant that opens the heart, expands the heart, and says, we are we and we are one. We are we are one. And helps us connect to our true self. Allows us to feel feelings and step back from them, but also let compassion for yourself and the world. Hummy hum, brum hum. So feel your heartbeat with your hands on your heart. Keep your chest lifted just a bit. Keep your eyes closed at the brow points still. Hummy hum, brum hum. 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 Inhale. Press your hands firmly on the chest. Exhale with a powerful stroke through the mouth. Inhale once more. Press against your chest. Exhale powerfully. 2 more times. Inhale. And once more. Inhale. And stay a moment here. Seal this sense of yourself at the heart center. Consolidate yourself. Feel the unknown infinity of your being synchronizing you. Feeling the connection to all that is in the world, all that was before and all that is to come. Compassion for all.
Wow, thank you, Tina. I love that chant, hummy hum brum hum. It is a beautiful chant for the heart. So thank you for sharing that. That was beautiful. All right, who would like to go next?
Linda, I would love to go next.
Oh, you're wearing the flowers. All right, we've got our Beltane queen here.
I feel so festive. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. This feels like such a celebration. I have my orange fire shirt on, and when you mentioned that we were gathering in a circle and wanting the flowers, I just happen to have this in the room I'm in. It's my daughter's, so I decided to put it on. So, hi everyone. I'm Carmen Nash. And I'm a spiritual healer and oracle, and I am passionate about helping women bring their voice into the world. And I do that through a lot of different modalities, and our voice can take many different forms. But I invite all of us, as we are continuing our celebration after we are together, to put an intention in our communal fire that we can all bring our voices into the world in the most empowered, beautiful way that we can. And before I get to the tool that I wanted to share today, I want to kind of give you a little bit of a summary of what I've experienced leading up to this point in the time that we've been together. And I know there's a lot of wisdom and weaving that's happening in this group, so it overlaps with what everyone is already sharing. But for me, I feel like I've gone through this period of needing to really calm my nervous system the last few weeks. And I know we've all been sharing those tools together in different ways we can be in our nervous system and kind of prepare us for whatever is going to come next. And now I feel with this marker of today, then this fire ceremony, we're stepping into the unknown with all of our tools and all of our calmness and all of our presence, and we're ready for whatever presents next. And so for me personally, just to give you a personal example of what that looks like, at the beginning of the pandemic, I have 2 children, and I said to them, whatever happens, do not hurt yourself to the point where we have to go to the hospital, because we just don't want to be at the hospital right now, right? We just want to not be there. And so yesterday, my greatest fear happened. My daughter was on her scooter and she had an accident, and I thought maybe she broke a bone. So here we were, we needed to address that and go to the urgent care, and it wasn't that bad. It was as if all of this calmness and preparation that we've been doing individually and collectively together in this beautiful group really helped prepare me for that moment. And when it came, I was ready, and it wasn't so bad. And so I wanted to share that with all of you, because I thought that we maybe have all experienced something like that. Maybe there's a fear that we've been carrying from the beginning of this, and that we're in this process of facing our fears with our calmness, and we're ready to offer them into the fire, knowing that whatever is transmuted and distilled out of that is going to be okay. We're going to find our way forward with the most love in our hearts for ourselves and others. And so but it just makes me so happy, and I'm so joyous to share the tool that I brought for all of you, because it is in such an alignment with what Gwendolyn and Linda and Tina have already shared. So I know you can't make this stuff up, right? So I'm going to show you this book. I'll type it into the chat as well. It's called The Marriage of Spirit by Leslie Temple Thurston. So I'll go ahead and type that in now. And let's see. So it is The Marriage of Spirit by Leslie Temple Thurston. A lot of her work has to do with polarities, which is what this day is representing. It is bringing together our polarities within the center of ourself and distilling them and transmuting them into the truth and the power of who we are as divine humans. I feel very strongly today that there's an invitation for us to step into our divinity as humans and dance it out and walk on the earth and be in community with one another. So beautiful. And so the exercise I wanted to share with you comes from this book that I just showed you. And working with what Tina already presented us with in that beautiful meditation, I'm just gonna expand that idea a little more even, and invite you, as you're thinking into your polarities of what you are, I am this, I am not this, to even bring a story or an experience or a challenge that you are personally facing in your own life, and to write that down on a piece of paper, and don't hold back. Just let it all out. And once you do that, take a highlighter, your favorite color highlighter, and underline or highlight all the emotion words within that experience that you are experiencing. And you can sit with this. It can take, as little or as much time as you need for what you are facing in your own life. And once you do that, go back through it and really make sure you highlighted and marked all the ones that really spark an emotional response in you. You want to capture all of those because that's where the juice is. That's where the fire transmutation happens. And once you do that, get another clean piece of paper, and on the left side, write all of those emotion words. And then using your intuition, write the antonyms. So I'm gonna in chat, hopefully this will work, and I'm gonna paste in a list to give you an example of what I'm meaning here. Let's see if that will work. There we go. So this is an example of a story of somebody's commute to work and how it made them feel. So they experienced feeling hurried, and they needed extra time, and they felt sick and rage and impatient and ignored and anger and powerlessness and controlling and wanting to let it go and ashamed. And then your list is going to look different because it's your list. And these are examples of what the antonym could look like for those 11 words, but your antonyms may be different. So sometimes love can ignite fear as the antonym, or hate as the antonym. It really just depends on your own experience and what you're going through. So just know that your experience is your own, and it's going to look just unique to you, and that's perfect. And if you get stuck finding your antonym, a lot of times when I love this exercise, it has been so helpful to me in my own life, and I will get a dictionary or an antonym dictionary, or I'll go on Google and find the antonyms, and I'll just have fun playing with finding my antonyms. And once you do that, you have your formula for transmutation right here, because these are the polarities within us that we are trying to find our center point in all the time as divine humans. And sometimes we're afraid to feel all of these things because we've been taught that it's not okay. We've been taught it's too much to feel all these things. But the truth is we all feel all these things because we're all human, and it's part of our experience. And underneath all of this is love. It's the unconditional love and the wisdom and the truth that we have within us. So in order to get to that, we have to feel our way through it. It's important. We have to give ourselves permission to feel all of our emotions and creating these safe containers. This is one way to create a safe container. Tina gave us another safe way to create that container. Gwendolyn did also, and Linda. So it's just so perfect. And this is what my favorite part is. Once you've created your experience and written it down and found your words and your antonyms, Then you get to offer it up with a prayer in whatever way feels good to you. So here's an example of what the prayer might look like. And this also comes from the book I showed you. And I'll say it out loud, and we can say it together in our own spaces where we are. So an example of a prayer that you can say to offer it up to God or Source or however you relate to it is, "O Eternity, please take all of these states of mind which are unbalanced in this pattern and balance and clear them. Do this so that I may see more clearly and find my way home more easily. I give thanks knowing it will be done." And you can change that and make it your own in whatever tradition or way that feels good to you, but you're really just offering it up, saying, I'm recognizing, I'm seeing, please help me see more. Please help me see the truth. And then you just get to wait and just wait for grace and just see what happens. And when grace comes, you'll know that it's there, because you'll feel a subtle shift in your body or your emotions or your mental state, or just a very subtle feeling. Sometimes you'll notice it, sometimes you won't, but it's still happening. So I'm so grateful to be here with all of you, and I feel like this is such a special day for us to be together, sharing this information, receiving this information, and I do hope that we seize this opportunity to go out into the world where we are after we get off of this wonderful call that Linda has arranged for all of us. Thank you so much, Linda. And have our own little ceremony, have our own little fire where we put in on a piece of paper our experience that we want to lift up and receive grace for. So thank you very much.
Wow, Carmen, that was so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love it. That's such a beautiful transmutation practice. I can feel the power of how writing it down on paper and then changing the words. It's interesting because it reminds me of something I learned years ago, that they say that when you write something down, the likelihood that you manifest it is like 80% versus 15 to 20% if you don't. So by writing this down, you're literally writing this down and actually bringing it into the material world, like, I am transmuting this. Wow, that's incredible. Thank you so much. And so it was The Marriage of Spirit is the book that this comes from, which I'll have to go check out. I've not heard of that book yet. So another book to add to my list of things to read. Thank you so much, Carmen. And I'm so glad you are definitely, you're a Beltane queen today. Wonderful. All right, let's see here. We have Africa who joined us. We still have Shirley and Gwendolyn. So who would like to go next of our light players?
I'll go. I didn't introduce myself earlier, although I think most of you know me. I'm Gwendolyn, so if someone's listening later, Gwendolyn Terra. And it's so much fun to be in a circle of everyone who's here and all these guides, because we do a lot of similar things in our own magical ways, and it's fun to be with others doing that, right? Like that's, I feel like, a real invitation of this time. And my website's actually divinemovements.com, and my whole intention is, how do we live a spiritual life in our bodies? How do we embody it? How do we breathe that in? That's my walk. And I love that there's so much of that in the conversation now, because in my path, I was one of the early ones speaking it. And now everyone's using those words and stuff, and it's great, because that's the destination, is that we're all there. So it feels really good and fun. And I was really feeling that energy of the masculine feminine. So the thing I want to offer right now. It's just to kind of guide us in a little exercise. And I feel like it's, you know, there's some beautiful steps in this. In order for the masculine and feminine, for us to meet, we have to kind of own our parts, right? Like, which is a lot of what, you know, like being able to see what we are and what we aren't, and see the roles that we're holding and that Tina was working on, and what Carmen was, you know, like being able to feel our feelings, because to have effective communication, we actually have to hear ourselves too, right? Like that is a really precious thing. And so I'm going to guide us in this little exercise, and it's something like, as we tune into ourselves and our connection with spirit, how do we meet these aspects in ourselves, and then how do we bring that to each other? Like, how do we communicate from these places? And my earliest teacher on effective communication, he would talk about, you know, to really communicate, you have to be willing to be wrong, to actually not know, right? Which is the whole world we're in right now that Carmen spoke so beautifully. And I just have to acknowledge that the other thing about this day, and this, it's not just Beltane, this day that we're in, and yesterday and today, it literally felt like we've come through a threshold of a period of time, and we're here now. Like, and it's like, it just feels different, and don't have the exact words, but feeling that alignment with source and being able to communicate from a place of full integrity is really precious. And I actually call the constellation work I do integration constellations, because I think we're all moving towards that place. So we're going to do a little bit for just a moment. So I'm going to invite you to drop into your body and breathe into your belly. Really feeling your pelvis, your creative center, your womb center. Really feeling the base of your spine. This core of your body. So feeling your pelvis, your womb, your creative center, and then really touching into your power center, your third chakra, your will. Breathing into your heart. And just feeling your throat, your ears. We're just going to do a little bit of a mini constellation, just breathing in. And I want you to just imagine in front of you, or we're just going to call it this right now, but imagine your feminine energy. Wherever that is for you in your body, it might be where you think it is, it might be different. I want you to imagine your feminine energy in front of you. It might be a color, it might be you and your feminine energy, whatever that is. Really just for this moment, let yourself notice it. See this aspect of you. Let yourself breathe it in. Your job is just from an aware witnessing place to give this part of you a moment of your attention. And as you do that, ask this aspect of you, what is it wanting you to remember? Well, first, let this one know, I see you. Say it out loud. Say, I see you. Let it know that you're fully here with it for this moment. Yeah. And then ask it, what are you wanting me to remember right now? And just really let yourself receive that. There might be a sensation or a word or an awareness, and don't question it unless you just need clarity. But really allow that information just to be here. It's inside of you, so it's communicating with you, but really allow yourself to receive consciously this communication. And just letting that be here. Letting that energy be here. And then I want you to also imagine again, as an aspect of you, a color, a sensation, I want you to call in and imagine in the masculine aspect of you, and let it be on whatever side. Like maybe one's in one direction, let the other be in the other direction, and really let your masculine self be here. And also notice what you feel and what happens when you bring in your masculine. There. And as you notice it, ask your masculine, well, tell your masculine, say, I see you. And really notice that. Notice whatever's here. Because we are in this body that we were made by a masculine and feminine energy coming together. So that lives inside of us on the physical level and in the internal level in this body. Just letting yourself be with your own inner masculine. And also ask your masculine, what is it wanting you to remember? What is this part of you wanting you to remember right now? Just let that come in, and it might not even make any intellectual sense. Like it just might be a sensation, but the ask is really powerful. What are you wanting me to remember right now? And I want you to imagine your feminine and your masculine turning. You're asking them to turn and look at each other. And really notice what happens when they see each other. And let whatever feeling happens as you do this be here. They're not super close. They could be, you never know where yours are. But just really for a moment, let them see each other. Let there be the spaciousness. And letting your palms be open, I just invite you to bow to this exchange. So let your palms open, to lower your head, and just breathe in this exchange of them seeing each other. And also, if you want to say out loud, you can say to both of them, thank you for what you've carried. And as you lift your head, I invite you to let your heart open to the love that is here in this creation of you. Just open your heart to the love that's here in this creation that you are, of life and spirit and source. And really feel yourself draw in your masculine and feminine. Let your palms just draw them in and feel them find their place. We've given them a space outside of us to witness and really draw them into you, however that feels true in this moment. And also feel that energy of their connection, however that is true in this moment, that energy of conception that actually lives inside of you. Yeah. And just breathing into your belly and feeling this come in, and feel how it lines up, and feel where it might still be tender, knowing that you still have lots of tools to go and work with, listening to this again and with Carmen's thing, There might be more that needs to be spoken, and it's hard to speak and listen unless we're willing to meet each other and see each other just as we are. So this is a gift to just allowing that to be the starting place. Both when we do it individually and when we come together, allowing us to see each other first. And hear each other. This is a mini session, so we're starting here. We did hear each other. Yeah. Breathing that in. Yeah.
Oh, that feels good. Oh my gosh. My masculine's really hot.
Believe it.
I mean, spend more time with him. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Gwendolyn. And I know Shirley's holding a beautiful heart space and container for all of us right now. So I wanted to see if Africa, I think she was saying she would like to draw a card.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to draw a card for everyone.
Oh, you're our second Beltane queen.
Wonderful happenstance. I'm in good company with Carmen. Oh, Gwendolyn, that was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What I want to share, I'm in such, almost at an ecstatic place anyway today. I just woke up in this gorgeous energy. I think everyone has been feeling that shift. And I see some beautiful part of that is just sinking. I guess it sounds so magical, but sinking down into the truth and pulling it out is like the big thing I'm seeing in May. And I think it's that Scorpio energy coming up. It's going to help with that search for that truth and seeing all those shadows and just bringing out, it feels like not the last, but the last that we need to bring out at this time. And seeing them and witnessing them and honoring where they are in our lives. So I want to go ahead and pull a card because it's like it may just feels magical right now. These are Magical Unicorn Oracle cards. So magic, guys, magic. So let's see what card comes up here. I just want one card, guys. I think Wendell will get mad if I read 5. Okay, let's go. Okay. Can you guys see this? Worth waiting for. Your patience will be rewarded. I really feel like we're coming out of this period of time, and it has been so worth waiting for. It's such a beautiful energy that's continuing to pass over the earth itself. And I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's all these things that are coming up to be witnessed, to be dealt with, that magic that's happening right now as we're reshaping our own reality and our reality as a collective. It's just amazing. And it's definitely been worth waiting for. It's like why we all showed up at this time anyway. And it was worth it. And it will be worth it. So I think that's a beautiful way for me to say also thank you, Linda, for having us all come together, for bringing everyone together for this gathering. It has brought a lot of light in where it could have felt really dark and alone as everyone goes through their own kind of isolation right now. And thank you. Thank you for bringing this forward and for championing this and making it happen. Thank you.
What a perfect card, Africa. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, yes, worth waiting for. I feel like we've been waiting for lifetimes to be here now. We've done a lot of work, all of us, anyone on this call. If you're on this call, you are a beautiful light master. Even if you don't call yourself that, even if you don't really work in these realms, even if you're in the corporate world, doesn't matter. how you're showing up in the world. If you're on this call, you are one of the beautiful light masters on the planet, because you were called to a gathering of light to help shine a light during a time that has been quite dark in some ways for many. And so I just want to thank everybody for being a part of that. Thank you to all of our beautiful, courageous light players for wanting to get together and offer some aspect of your light, your wisdom, your gifts to the world at this time. Even though this might be our last gathering, I'm putting that in quotes because I think we're going to come back again. It may not be next week. We're actually working on some new things to bring to everyone, some fun, exciting things to bring to people in this next month of May. So definitely we have some more fun things coming. So I want you to keep checking your emails, because we are going to probably have some more of these gatherings. It just may look a little bit different, who knows. So in this new energy, we're all in the process of allowing the changes to happen, to be here, be present for those changes, allow them to be. So I'm just so grateful for all of this. I love it. It's like at the end of each week, there's light. That's what I love about it. So we are going to have another gathering next Friday. It's not going to be called the Gathering of Light. So Gwendolyn and I have been talking about taking our community constellations that we do on Sundays and actually do a 4-week constellation starting next Friday. It'll be at the same time at 1 o'clock Central, but it will be the constellation work we've been offering on Sundays. So we're going to move that to Friday as a 4-week deeper dive. And so I'm going to let Gwendolyn talk a little bit more about that.
So, yeah, I am. The invitation is going to be a constellation circle, and the theme, which Carmen spoke to so beautifully, is claiming your voice and your choice. So we're really going to be going deeper into those layers inside of ourselves and what needs to be heard. And it is going to be it's going to be a fee, but a really good fee for 4 hours of transformational work with Linda and I, and we're going to keep it to a certain size. So the most that can fit on the screen. So and Shirley's going to be holding a space with it. So like 16 people can say yes, so that we can all see each other when we do the constellations. And also so that we can go deeper into the individual layers. There'll be some more conversations. And for me personally, every constellation follows the last constellation I was a part of, because that's how I'm experiencing life. But that if you were a part of all of the constellations, or even some of them that we've had, you've seen they kind of have themes. And as we can go deeper into them, there's a different layer. And we will be recording them and deciding if we want to share them. We might not. It might just be with the people who register. And that would be the thing we're doing for now. And then if everyone is in consent, then we'll share. But if you want to kind of go deeper into those layers together and listen, this practice of listening to the field without the agenda, like really just allowing spirit to speak through us collectively, is a practice. That deeper truth that we're all the field where there's no beyond right and wrong, where we're all connected, and practicing our muscle for collective listening. Like, I feel like this practice that I've been part of for so many years, which wires me every time I'm part of it, has given me a trust. The practices I do and the movement practices I do give me a trust, and that we can meet each other together. So it'll be a 4-week series, same time frame. We're just going to do it on the Fridays for the rest of May. So anyone who's here can decide if they want to commit to that. We are going to ask for the commitment of being here. You might need to miss one, but because we're holding the space and it's an investment, it's going to be $88 if you pay in full, and two $48 payments if you need to do it in payments. So we feel like for 4 weeks of 8 hours of time, that'll be a good balancing amount. And if you've been on these calls and you really have to come and you need to work it with us, please tell us, because we want you to be here if you've been part of this work. And we are doing a community constellation on Sunday afternoon, one more offering that you can invite more people to, that's totally on donation. So we want to get, the energy, just like these gatherings of light, there's this feeling like we really want to give as much of this out into the world as possible. And there's something when we can go deeper. I keep getting that the new world's going to be created by, it's like the imaginal cells, by pods of creation, where we get together and we go deeper into the creative energy and we build it from there. And I feel like it's not like a top down, no one's going to rescue us. No, it's not like that. It's this deeper truth, and we're going to create from there. And and so it's not only just like questioning, it's also going into the energy of creation and letting those voices speak, right? Like, what is needing attention now? What needs attention to grow? What pieces are needing to be heard? So I feel like it's so potent. Just us creating we have been a circle for 7 calls with this, like the collective field we generate when we gather together intentionally with that heart space is so potent. And when we can go deeper and deeper into the layers, it's really amazing. And every time I've been a part of that and done that with groups where we go, it's just, and we're able to absorb it more. And then the participation of everyone in the circle can come through also. Yeah. So it's exciting for this new time to kind of play in a pod of creation of dolphin pods, what I'm referring to, but like little groups of creation. Oh, and one more thing I just had to say, this Beltane energy, it just kept coming in through the call. There's an invitation right now of transparency and truth at a whole nother level. And so this invitation, and it's actually even in one of the cards in this deck, the Sacred Rebel say, but it's really this invitation of being naked with life. And I was thinking, well, that's the Beltane thing. Like the symbolism is everyone's dancing naked and wild and being seen. And, you know, it's like, but there's something about letting ourselves be fully seen from the inside out that is just so present right now. And that's why we need support to look at the things that are hard to see and the vulnerable things, because in a way we are starting to see ourselves and each other and our world in all of its messiness, all of the stuff, all of the truths of how we've done things. So there's like this invitation of it. And I know I was just feeling like the joyfulness of being naked and dancing in your freedom. And you see a little kid when they can just be free in their bodies. And it's like, there's something about finding that place inside of us again, or allowing it to be here. Maybe we didn't have it so much, but like that part of ourselves, and that's feels like it's part of the Beltane energy. Yeah.
Oh, I have a challenge for people. Go find some flowers, paste them on you naked, and go dance. Yay! And if you want to share with your sisters, please send us some pictures. Oh my God, that sounds like so much fun. Yeah, for sure. I'm just thinking, okay, I definitely want to make myself a little flower wreath today. Maybe me and my daughter, and then post the pictures on Facebook. So I really want everyone today to really give yourself an hour to really celebrate. I mean, seriously, this is May 1st. We got through a really tough time, and I want everybody to do something that just puts a big, huge smile on your face today. Whatever that is. If it's dancing naked, do it. If it means going and picking wildflowers, do that. Whatever it is, I really encourage all of you to do something. Yeah, I like the word juicy that Gwendolyn just said. Just do something juicy, okay? Because it really helps us to really feed that fire in us that really needs to be fed right now. Like Gwendolyn was saying, we were shut down, and we don't need repressed fire because that creates volcano. And the energetic actually for May is there is going to be a little bit of volcanic activity going on for this month. So yeah, there's some of that's going to be there, but you know, let's not have you be Pele unless, you know, it's invited. But yeah, do something joyful. Really let yourself have a lot of fun and enjoy yourself today. The other thing I also want to announce is that Carmen and Africa and I have been having some little chats, and we're excited to let you know that we're in the process. We don't have dates yet. We're still working through the detail of it, but all 3 of us are going to create an oracle circle, because all of us are oracles. And so we're going to do a fun oracle circle. We don't know when exactly. We're still working out the details of what that's going to be. But anyway, I know that dragon medicine is going to be part of it. I know that we're going to be focusing a lot on our sovereignty and trusting our knowing. So it's not like we have all the answers. Those who want to join that circle are going to be taught how to drop in and trust your own knowing. So we're going to be doing some fun with that at some point this month. So we'll just let you know when that goes. And then I know that Shirley and I and Gwendolyn are doing that Sunday, and then Tina are going to be doing some more yoga stuff together. Hopefully when we start to be able to gather, we're going to be doing those who live in the area, we're going to be doing some gong sound healing, because we're going to need some real powerful sacred sound through our bodies. So just know that we're going to be doing some of that as soon as we're able to start gathering. In fact, I might be a little bit of a rebel, and I might have us gather anyway. I don't know. I'm feeling it. My fire is wanting us to do a gathering and do a gong experience. So
we do it outside.
I'm all for that, because the gong is, Carmen was mentioning earlier about your nervous system and finding ways to balance it. The gong is just supremely beautiful for that. And I have a heart gong. So it's a Venus gong. So it really works on your heart center, helping open it, helping loosen all the things that are really, really difficult to let go. And I do some individual sessions that I can record for you too, and send it to you so you can replay. So just keep that in mind if that's something. But I would love to do anything related to yoga and gonging with Linda. And I love and I'm very grateful to this group for all of you who have showed up for the many weeks that you have and brought your light. I'm so, so grateful, because we are going to do this together. We're not alone anymore, doing our own roads. We paved that, we pioneered it, and now we're going to do it together in the beautiful, majestic, and bright lights that we are, and the rays of light that we are, and they come together and make this beautiful, beautiful tapestry. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, I know since this is one of our last gatherings in this way, if there is any sharings, I know a lot of people are sharing in the comments or in the chat, which is great. If there's anybody, we're going to be putting this on YouTube, so I'm just letting you know it's public. So if you don't want to go public, then don't jump on. But if you're okay with that, and you want to open up your mic and share something, or you have some awareness or something you want to share about Beltane, we want to hear the beautiful voices and light of the other people that are on the call right now. If you're willing, it's up to you. Just unmute yourself. Don't be shy. Oh, I can feel so much love. Oh my gosh, I can feel this wave of love coming through all of you. Mwah! Oh, that feels so good.
I just want to say how much love to Linda for holding this. And yeah, for all of us holding it through this time. It's like we were going through this birthing portal together, and it feels like it started to happen and everyone just started showing up, and we've held this space, and everyone who's come has held this space. And it was, there's like the joy of the new birth that's happened, that's here, right? And you're naked when you're birthing and having your baby, so maybe that's some of that energy. But there's like just, and then we can start meeting again outside or in different ways where we can. And I feel like just in that moment, I felt the sweetness of that we're all learning to unmute ourselves. Right? That's like the practice of Zoom. To be seen and not seen, and unmute and unmute. It's like this ongoing. It was just really funny.
Hey, that's genius. That was a genius observation, Gwendolyn. Yes, we're all being called to learn to share our voices, to unmute, and to be seen in the world. And especially us as light players and light masters that each of you are. Your light is needed. The light of your voice, your sound, your expression in the world is needed, especially those of us that are awakening to really share that powerful divine feminine. Her voice needs to be heard. Even her fire even her anger, even her rage. I mean, all of her needs to show up now. We can't just mute parts of ourselves so that we only hear the nice parts. It's interesting because there's a particular energy person I follow, and I was listening to him this morning, and here's what he said about May. He said, if you're a people pleaser, this is not going to be a very interesting month for you. Because playing nice and being a people pleaser is not in its true authenticity. It's not in its true integrity. And that means that you're muting some truth about yourself by trying to be nice and playing nice and, trying to please. So that whole, programming of us specifically as women, where we've been kind of raised to be the pleasers and to play it nice and be nice, that needs to go away. So that would be something you want to throw in the fire, in the ritual fire, and instead say, okay, no, I wasn't placed on this earth to please people. I was placed on this earth to be truly, authentically who I am. That's it. That's it. So whatever that is for you, you need to allow her to be here. So maybe your nice now has an edge to it, because it's more real. Maybe it's time to give up trying to please so-and-so because it's not working anyway and it's exhausting you. Maybe it's time for you to begin to look at, well, how can I be so true to myself that I'm happy and pleased with my own self? So if you have to please anyone, let it be you, not other people. So there is a bigger calling to truth right now happening on so many levels for everybody, but especially those of us who've muted some aspect of ourselves and we haven't allowed it to be here. And so, yeah, and know for even us, those of us who are on this call who have decided to be seen and be unmuted, even we are working through aspects of ourselves that we have muted and that have been hard for us to show or to have seen. I've struggled for the past 10 years around hiding aspects of myself and shutting down parts of myself and thinking I need to be a certain way, look a certain way, act a certain way, whatever all that nonsense is. And it does get very exhausting. And the truth is that it's not authentic. It's like you're only showing parts of yourself, but not all of you. And I just keep hearing this invitation right now. All of ourselves needs to be here. All of us, all of parts of ourselves. We all need to be here now. Even the parts we have deemed as ugly or unfit or deformed or not ready yet. There's no such thing as not ready yet. Sorry. We all played that game for the last 10, 20 years. The I'm not ready yet, it's not going to work anymore. Sorry, just not. I'm just giving y'all, the early memo that if you're going to use the excuse of I'm not ready yet, be careful. The universe is going to go, you are. And someone's going to unmute you and you're going to be seen. So it's important that you come into some big, huge realizations and open to that bigger truth and be willing to unmute the parts you've been muting. Be willing to call in grace. Yes, Gwendolyn?
So, well, with what Carmen said earlier, like we're really in the unknown, right? So we're in unknown territory. Being completely authentic and honest is unknown territory. But if we also feel that we have this connection with Source and we have others that are growing with us, we know that if we're messy or if we do something, that then we can meet the conversation of what needs to be addressed with what we say. Like not to shut up ourselves, but to be where we are and to keep in the conversation. So that's like the invitation now is like that we can be what we are and that we can also stay present, conscious, awake in the conversations of everyone else's voices, and that we're all here figuring this out together. So that's like the territory. Instead of trying to do it all on our own and figure it out and hide parts, it's like, no, this is what's true. And then finding that place of that we can actually meet that in ourselves and in each other, that we can hear our truths. And yeah, just so many yeses to everything you were just saying, but just this like, because one of the reasons we hold back is out of loving care for others. And when we can start to feel that connection, even with our truth and speak our truth, that's where we get into this authentic place, because what's been running are all these entanglements underneath. And so just feeling that, because it's exciting to be authentic and naked with others, and it's really scary too. And you know, we're all learning this. We don't have it figured out. Like, we're all learning.
And what's
Thank-
all, oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Let me just say this real quick, Tina, and then I'll, going with what Gwendolyn was saying, the other thing that to be aware of is that we are literally retribing, okay? We are creating new tribes now, tribes that are more authentic and more aligned with us. So if you have been someone who's built followings or tribes or whatever in the past, you need to be okay with some of your old tribe is going to go find a new tribe. Everything is realigning. And so we are literally retribing so that we can realign what is more real, so that we're in tribes that even feel safer, where we can really be even more authentic and more truthful. So just know that it's not personal. You know, for someone like me who's been building for the last 10 years, I can go into these places where it's like, oh, I lost someone. But it's like, no, they are finding a better fit or alignment. Yay, celebrate it. And then invite in the new people into your groups, your circles, your tribes, whatever that is that you are a part of, and invite them in, because they are the ones that are in the new with you, that are ready to do this next beautiful phase with you. So we're going to have to be okay with all this retribing and reorganization and realignment of people in our lives, and that it's not personal. We really have to keep breathing that in. It really isn't personal. We really do have to let some people go on to the next thing for them and invite in the new that's coming in for us. Tina?
Thank you, Linda. Yeah, I totally wholeheartedly agree. I think we need to remember that our heart is so big right now. It has been so expanded to let in the divine feminine that allows for different authentic voices that can be in the space with you. And I think that's really important, because sometimes inside of you, you're like, there's no way in hell I can do this, but then your body's doing it. This grace is operating. Notice that. Notice what's working. Notice that you are stepping up to it, because your higher self is anchoring more deeply into your body now. The veils of that have lifted. You have the ability to be that grace-filled person in the world in whatever way that you're meant to do it, because you have your own divine purpose that has already been laid out for you. There's no one else that can do it, which is awesome. So there's no, like, you can't screw this up. You know, it's just, but you have the ability. Your heart is so beautiful that you can do this. You can hold more voices. But the ones that are not resonant with you, it's okay. You can still be loving toward them, but it's a new loving. It's going to feel different. It's not the old, I'm hanging on to something, you know, forcing something, you know, or waiting for something. No, it's allowing for that person's higher self to choose a different experience and to really, really bless that. You know, there's a beautiful blessing. May someone be blessed. May someone be loved. May someone be, you know, free. I mean, whatever way you want to bless that. It's kind of like Carmen's blessing that we do. You know, say that for the ones of our tribe that maybe are going in a different way. And guess what? You'll find out there's a different kind of love that can be expressed for them. That might not be a love you are comfortable with initially, but it's okay to just allow that to guide you. It's going to be so effortless after a while. So just trust that while it's bumpy right now, and the divine feminine in all the beautiful forms is coming to assist us in Mother Earth, in Divine Mother, in all of the beautiful men and women that are out there. We have one another, and we will know what to do. Just stay in the moment. Trust yourself, trust your heart. Let that grace pour over you when it feels difficult, because there'll be moments where you're like, there's no way I can do this. And then just say, let that grace in, then speak or do or be. whatever that is, and you will be helped. There's like, you could feel that support right now as I'm talking to you, right? That is just going to continue to expand and increase. So just trust that. Trust that. And this whole people pleasing, I think, is part of a way women have been for a long time as a way of loving. So we want to honor that that was a way that we have history to help bridge the gaps. But Spirit's saying we don't need to do that anymore. There's a deeper love that is inviting us that we can do that is more real, that is more grounded. And we know how to do that. We just step into it. It's okay. It's okay. And it's okay to grieve while you're letting go of, like we did earlier about the roles of who we are, where we were. We can honor them, bow to them like we did. But we can step into this role and just meet it in whatever way wants to. And the minute you say, I want to hold back my heart, say, wait a minute. No, I'm going to step into this new love that wants to be here with me in the way it wants to be for me. Because it's not going to be like everyone else. And there are going to be different authentic voices, I'm saying, that might not resonate with you. And you will see, which ones do I want to play with? Which ones are going to grow me and stay in the new with me? And which ones am I going to release? No, I don't want to play that way with someone. It's nothing personal, like Linda said. I want to have a different experience now as the fully embodied person that I am. You know? And then there's ones that you're going to have a little bit of, okay, this is worth just really trying it out with and staying centered, staying present, like Gwendolyn said, staying with that and say, okay, you know, this feels a little icky, but it's because I'm releasing. So I think that's also a message that I've heard is sometimes the thing that's uncomfortable is releasing from you, which is just an opportunity for a beginning. It's just how you can reframe that. Oh, it's just something leaving me. Oh, I can see it that way. I can feel it that way. I can invite it that way. So let the discomfort move you. And you'll know the difference between something that was wanting to move towards something for your soul and want something that wants to naturally fall away. So just trust that. Listen to that deeper. You know what to do. Your soul knows what to do.
Wow, Tina, as you were talking, I know that many people on this call don't know this, but at one point you were going to become an ordained minister, right? And anyway.
Yeah, let me just add to that, because that was a lifelong thing, and it was a priestess part of me. And I love Jesus, by the way, and I love Mother Mary. But Jesus, who's a really big buddy of mine, he's like, Tina, you're not supposed to be in one parish. There are places that you need to go that you can't even imagine. You have something to share that is deeper. It's the Christ consciousness, the divine consciousness, the universal consciousness of the feminine. And he adored Mother Mary. He adored Mary Magdalene. And he was able to support the voice of women at a time when, 2,000 years ago, when no one did that. He held a vibration so that they could hear the truth and see the whole Christ consciousness on the planet. I mean, he's one of many, obviously, teachers like Krishna and other ones too. But I just wanted to say that he loved the voice of women. And we are all reseeding that now, that Christ consciousness, that women have a place. All indigenous voices have a place. This is the beauty of this time. And we are part of it, and we can add our voices to it and create circles of a whole new paradigm and how it should be, in a way that is loving and gentle and compassionate for all beings. So yes, I struggled because I wanted to do this one thing, because I wanted to have a concrete whatever, and I had to be pulled out of that limited way of being in the world to follow what my soul had planned out all along. So, and it takes time sometimes, right? To let go of something that you really, really wanted, and to be very gentle with yourself and say, okay, I will surrender. I will welcome the surrender to my soul's path. And have fun doing it with your flowers and your fire.
Right, exactly. So as I was hearing you, Tina, I kept seeing a vision. So I think I have a vision for what the next iteration of this gathering of light is going to be. So we'll be unveiling that at some point soon after I've had a conversation with all of our light players. But I actually just saw a vision of like, oh, I see what may be next for all of us that we could offer. So yeah, yay. It's along the lines of, you know, priestess temple church kind of thing. So we'll see what shows up. Oh, well, does anybody else have any love to share, anything?
Yes.
Wisdom? Oh, yes.
Yes.
Mary?
I was wanting to speak several people back, and it's interesting the things that happened. I really appreciate so much. I just mainly wanted to say, you know, thank you so much. I loved the getting together in the circle around the fire in a big grassy field with flowers all around is what I saw in a place that we have here in Ashland area behind Jackson Well Springs. And all the flowers were just so amazing, the colors. It was a beautiful guided process. But I appreciate every one of you so much. And Tina, what you were saying was great. But what was so interesting was what I wanted to ask, and when I was wanting to hop on before Tina spoke, I was wanting to ask, last Sunday morning, I was wishing I had Tina's phone number because I wanted to see, I remember you saying you were going to do like a yoga thing on Sundays. And I went, I don't know how to find Tina. I probably could have called Gwendoline and asked, but I didn't. And then something else came up that I went towards. And so I don't know if, Linda, if you've put people's phone numbers or emails or something on your written email, that would be helpful, because I know you put things into the chat at different times and different people have, but I don't catch that. I don't catch it. I don't get it written down. And so if it were, if it's okay for you to give that contact information, Linda, that would be great. So there's that one thing. And then the other thing is my gratitude for everything. And then as I was wishing to just be with everyone, I thought, I wish I could see Shirley. And then Shirley came on visually for a while. I could see Shirley, and it was so sweet. It was such a fulfillment of my wish, you know. And I just want to say, Shirley, I love you. And that's it. This thing about the tribe, thank you. The thing about the tribes, people going away, and that's been a big part of my experience for the last several years, is all my tribes kind of dissolving and people connections going away. And then this, you know, stay home stuff has been even more. It's been a really strong, hard experience. So that thing of seeing who I am, with that thing that Tina did earlier of I am this and I'm not this. So many of the things that I was, I'm not anymore. It's just a really different and difficult part of the experience. And at this point, with this, the way the world is and the way I am now, at least what I see, I'm sure I could see it many different ways. it's hard for me to even see how to reform the tribes. But this experience with this gathering of light has been wonderful. And connecting with everyone, including Shirley. Thank you all so much.
Oh, thank you, Kathy Mary. You're part of this tribe.
I know. Yeah, I know.
And we love having you. Love having you. And
yeah, and Mother Mary's been a part of it too, I feel like.
Yes. I'm so glad you said that, because I was about to mention the divine Mother Mary energy for May and Mary Magdalene energy. But back to the request, Kathy Mary, thank you. Actually, in the replay, I put everybody's contact website on the YouTube channel for the replay, but it's a great idea for me to actually add it to the emails for those that don't watch the replay or don't go to YouTube. So I will definitely do that. That's a great feedback. So thank you for that. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any beautiful words of wisdom to share, or anything else before we close for today, so we can go dance naked with flowers? Oh, I want to seal everybody in love and light, saying thank you to all of you beautiful gathering of light tribes, women and men who have joined us over these past 7 weeks. And I just want to bless everybody. Thank you all for being the masters of light, the beautiful courage and heart love that you each are. And I just say thank you that Spirit guided all of us here together to create and to co-create this light during this time. I really do believe that we created a beautiful vortex of blessings for so many beyond those that were just on the call. I do feel that the waves of light have gone out over these weeks. There's been some amazing changes in the world, and I'd like to know that we were some part of it. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you beautiful souls who chose to gather in light and to share your love, your light, your truth, your gifts, your wisdom. And just having your presence is also the most incredible gift. So I just want to say thank you for your presence. And so I want to seal each and every one of you and all of our beautiful tribe of light at any moment that you came during the 7 weeks, sealing all of your beautiful souls in love and in light, asking for the highest, asking that grace touch your life in any and all ways, and that today moving forward is an amazing new world for you, a new earth, filled with flowers, filled with dancing, filled with love, filled with your new tribe of people coming in, filled with all those things that your soul and your heart has desired. We just set the intention and we just invite it in and we say, yes, I'm fired up about life, and I'm going to do something today that is going to really anchor that truth in. So I just invite that, and I say, with so much love and light, sealing this beautiful 7 weeks we've had in such holiness and sacredness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Thank you, everybody. Mwah. I just want to hug and kiss everybody right now and give you all a flower and a candle. So virtually, that's what I'm doing. Everyone's getting a flower and everyone's getting a candle. And so I will get this video set and ready to go, and then I'll send out the replay. Please share these replays. All of them are on the YouTube channel, so you can see all 7 weeks. You can go back and revisit any of them if you missed any of those, and learn some of these beautiful techniques or apply anything that would work for you on that particular day that you're needing it. And the contact information is there, but I will send it out in the emails. So if you are not on our email lists in some way for those replays, then make sure you reach out to whoever, one of us, and give us your information so you can make sure to get the announcements for the next iteration of this that is going to, I know, happen. I can feel it. It's already birthed. So anyway, much love to everyone. Thank you so much. I don't know if anybody else has any goodbyes before we go. Oh,
Lots of love.
I want to say my two kitties. You may have seen them a minute ago. Here's Shadow, and let's see if I can get her up here. And here's Grace. Oh, she's not so willing to be held, but I named my kitties Grace and Shadow because those are two aspects that I feel like we're working with. So they've been very present during this call in my lap.
oh, thank you for the cat medicine and for Grace and Shadow. They've grown so much since they first began appearing on video a couple of months ago. So thank you so much, Shirley. Thank you for your heart presence holding us so that we can do our work. She is truly the wisdom grandmother of our circle. And there is a huge difference when her presence is not here. It is absolutely felt because she just holds such a massive heart container for us to be able to unmute ourselves and be seen. So it really does take the powerful grandmother wisdom of the world to hold us younger ones so that we feel brave enough to step forward and be unmuted and be seen. So I honor you, Shirley, as our divine wisdom grandmother for this circle. You have been such an important part of each of our lives who've known you. I mean, truly, I could tell story after story. So I just want to honor you and say thank you so much for your incredible wisdom and presence and heart, because you really do make such a huge difference. Your presence is massive. So thank you.
Can I say one more thing for the grandmothers? We have ancestral grandmothers who are so here in this new time with us. I mean, they're like standing room only. They are so happy to be here to walk with us. But the ones that are on earth, like Kathy, Mary, and Shirley, and friends that I have that are, you know, in their 80s, who have just been doing incredible work in the world, they're slowing down and they're not doing as much in what looks like an outward sense. I want to speak to them for a moment because they are really, they have anchored so much for us, and they're still holding that space, but they're doing it in some ways that seems like less. So I really want to honor that and honor their journey and whatever that is, and their own rhythm in addition to ours, but to say, you really are the bedrock, and how you do this, listen to that and untrust that. And you're not alone. I know you might have a lot of people your age falling away, but you're part of this huge circle. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tina, for sharing that. I know we just want to linger in the love right now. Well, I know a lot of people had to jump off because they have things they have to do. So I'm going to go ahead and with love and light, close us down, but know that we're all still connected. I'm going to be seeing all these. I'm going to just pick a particular flower for each and every one of you and display it in my home today. So much love to everyone. Have a beautiful, amazing Friday, Beltane. Hopefully we'll see some of you again on Sunday at 6 p.m. for the community constellation. And then the following week, we're going to be
4 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central, and then Eastern is what, 7 p.m.? So yes, you can invite people to be on that. And of course, there's going to be many more offerings. I'm working on some fun things for May. We're going to be doing, I'm probably going to be doing a journey with the Archangels and Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. So I'm getting that information ready to go for those that want to walk that journey in May with me. So I'll be getting that together soon. So anyway, love to everybody. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.